Hi, this is I Allegedly. Welcome back. I'm Dan, and I've got a good one for you today because things are going to get much worse before they get better, and there's a lot of things to cover in this video. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're on the email list, which everybody should be, check your spam filter. But let's get right into it. You know, California is one of the richest states in the country by far. We just have, great real estate, great wages, but when you compare it to the cost of living here, it's out of control. And this is something that a lot of people write me about on a regular basis, and just how expensive certain things are. And, we've dealt with everything from property taxes lately to insurance costs to fuel costs to heating and energy. And, thank God we didn't have a really bad winter this year, but it's crazy what people can afford. There are almost 4 million people in this state that cannot cover basic necessities and basic needs, staples of life. Now, with that being said, that's 35% of the state and the population. 97% of those people have at least one person in the house working. So here's the thing: you may have a young child and can't work, So that's what's affecting all of this. But when you hear the wages that these people are making at $65,000, I don't know where you live for 65 grand in this state. And the problem with it is that even the war zones, even the bad places in Los Angeles, Santa Ana, I mean, here I'm walking on Balboa Island, but as you walk and you go to these different areas, they all have bad areas, and you can, cross over and get yourself to, rental areas that I wouldn't sleep at. I wouldn't park my car and walk to my car at night. Just bad areas. But a lot of people have no choice. Now, our governor just keeps talking about how this deficit keeps growing. Now I've heard it's as high as $15 billion, and the majority of it is money that we've spent for insurance to help people that are not from this country. Crazy, guys, absolutely crazy. But when you hear this, people are making sacrifices and going without food to pay rent, going without car insurance to pay rent. I'm telling you guys, that is the kiss of death. The way that the life lottery works is that you're going to get in an accident if you don't have insurance. It's just going to happen, and it's the karma of life that we have to deal with. So I'm telling you, budget, do what you can do, research things, try to save money on everything that you do. Now, one thing that's funny lately is people have sent me a lot of different articles about EV cars. And the EV car problem is this. Think about this. How long does the average gasoline powered car last? 12 years right now, which is nothing. Used to be 18. Drop the quality of manufacturing, motors, all the recalls that we read about from these, American car companies getting worse and worse and worse. So the average car, gasoline powered car, lasts 12 years. How long does the average EV car last? 3 years right now. Tesla has so much inventory right now that you cannot trade a Cybertruck in. Now, they're trying to make a big deal out of it. It's like, nobody wants these cars. No one's buying them. I don't think anybody can afford those cars right now. The waiting list for those cars, there were thousands of people. And, what did they sell? 20,000 of those cars. It was crazy, guy. Because now there's that EV car, that Slate truck, that will never get built. They have well over 100,000 deposits on that car, and that car will never be built. Everybody I've talked to in insurance, in manufacturing, everything, it's just a kit car. It's a joke. It's designed to spur interest, but they're taking your $50. And it will be interesting to see if that ever gets built. Now, the economy is not well right now. People know that it's going to get worse before it gets better. Even our main man, Jamie Dimon, man of the people, he's like, hey, don't rule out a recession right now. Okay? People navigating their little doggies. So don't rule out a recession right now. And regardless of all these deals Trump is making, the trillions of dollars he's bringing back home from Saudi Arabia and everybody else, it's just, is it going to help? Yeah, someday. It's going to do great things. It's going to be unbelievable. Think about this one. This is a good one. Carrier Air Conditioning. It's a great company. Good, strong manufacturing unit. It is a quality product when it's installed. I had a lot of people that I know that have had Carrier air conditioners in their house. Well, they're going to move manufacturing here to the house, here to my house, here to the United States, and it's going to bring 4,000 jobs to the United States. That's unbelievable, guys. That's a huge amount of jobs. It's going to bring billions of dollars of investment, but that's going to take 4 years to get that here. Okay, 4 years. One story I love to talk about, because there's this one guy that, you can't use my name because he works there, and every time you talk bad about this company, you don't know they're the greatest company in the world. JC Penney's is hanging on by a thread right now. They're going to close more stores between now and May 25th, which is, just a few days away. So with that being said, you're going to see more and more of these places close down. You're going to see your favorite drugstores close down. You're going to see your favorite stores that you buy stuff from close down. What is surviving right now? Discount stores aren't surviving. But JC Penney's, it used to be a juggernaut in the clothing industry. When was that? Well, I missed that part, and I got a few years on me. I never remember JC Penney's as being a good place to shop and buy anything. So let me know what you think about that. I think it's funny that we're experiencing this, all over the place. Burberry is a high-end store, and they're out of the UK. They're going to get rid of 1,700 people. 1,700 people are done. Okay? Gosh, guys. Think about this. People don't have the money for a $3,000 handbag. What a $5,000 handbag? Well, Tim, that's nothing. My handbag cost $8,500. It's the greatest thing I ever purchased. I have insurance on it, okay? Dr. Marvin sent me this one. Sunseeker Resort in Florida. Sunseeker Resort has not been able to get over 35% occupancy for almost 8 months now. In Florida, beautiful resort, 785 rooms. No. They're done, guys. You're going to see them file for bankruptcy this week. But again, this is the season. Here's the thing. I went to Florida a few years back, a couple times, and it's like this all the time. It's beautiful all the time. I hate how the humidity and how muggy it is, but it is just beautiful. And it's like, honey, let's go. Let's leave New York. Let's fly down to Florida. Let's stay at the Sunseeker on the beach. No, 35% occupancy, guys. But the problem with this is that, what do these hotels do? They cut back on the staff. They cut back on the amenities. They cut back on the restaurants that are open. We don't need to have 3 restaurants. We can get by with 1. And it's terrible. Absolutely terrible that you're seeing this more and more and more. But again, thank you, Dr. Marvin, for sending me all this stuff that you always do. And it's terrible. I'm always telling people to watch your bills and to look out for getting overcharged. And the problem with it is, people nowadays, you log into your bank account, go paperless. You log in and get your electric bill, go paperless. And a lot of these things, the thing that's maddening, and T-Mobile's about to get sued for this. And hey, we want you to go paperless, and if you don't go paperless, it's going to cost you $5 more a month. Then people went paperless, and now they're not refunding the $5. Well, wait a second. I'm now paperless, so I want the $5 taken off my bill. No. That was just for a set period of time, blah, blah, blah. They'll get sued for that, and you'll get yourself a refund someday. But the electric company, Nevada Energy, think about this. 80,000 customers got overcharged, 80,000, to the tune of $17 million. And this was going back, I'm going to make sure I have the first starting year right, because it was just disgusting. This goes back to 2017 to April of last year, 2024. 2017 to 2024. Okay? So, it was a COVID problem. No, it wasn't. It was a problem that you guys are a den of thieves, ripping people off and overcharging them and not thinking anything about it. So now people are going out and they're having hearings about this and meetings about this that you're paying for off your electric bill. And then they go out and they say, hey, listen, we need to discuss this. One woman went back and she realized that she was being overcharged, and they gave her 1/3 of what they took from her. So no. Again, I'm sure there'll be another lawsuit over this and you won't hear the end of it. But isn't that terrible? Absolutely awful. So one thing that's funny that we hear about is people have a lot of debt when it comes to Tesla vehicles. And whenever anybody, here's what you should do. If you want to give a Tesla person a hard time, just tell them to go make a car payment. That's what I do when they cut me off and things like that. But anyways, one thing that's funny is there's a story about how I walked out of my house last week and saw my Tesla back up and drive back to the dealership because of the heavy debt load. And people are taking this as seriously. Like, oh my God, it's self-repossessed. There's no technology for that. Ford filed for the patent for that in 2023, and we talked about that. But guys, this isn't in place yet. They're not repossessing vehicles and having them self-drive back to the dealership. That is complete shenanigans, and it's a lie. But again, there's over 80,000 of those cars that cannot be sold. That is crazy, guys. That's nuts. So you got $100 million. You got hundreds of millions of dollars, excuse me, like $800 million worth of those Teslas. There's somebody over there with their. But interesting, you're going to see a lot of this stuff come out in the coming weeks. And, one thing that we talked about earlier this week was the problem with your credit score being affected by student loan debt. I've had people write me and say it was like overnight once they said that I was delinquent. Now, here's the thing, guys. I have a buddy of mine who's, I think he's financially savvy. He's a really good guy, good businessman. He just bought a house with nothing down with a loan right at 800 grand. That's what they have right now. You can do that if you've got the good credit like he does. He's got a great job, been there for a long time. And I'm not going to put any money down, Dan. I'm just going to pay my closing costs, which will be less than $10,000 for everything. For the inspections, for the closing costs, for everything he has to pay. It's going to be less than $10,000. And he's got himself 100% financing. It's still out there. But he doesn't have, 80 grand in student loan debt. It's just, God, it's just so much. And people are out of control when it comes to this stuff. So you're seeing student loan, people with these student loans, their credit scores are dropping so fast. They're going down as low as 620 overnight. Isn't that terrible? I talked about this on the other channel, and that is State Farm got approved for 19% price increase. And make sure you have a good relationship with your insurance agent and talk to the agent, not Becky that answers the phone, who may be very nice, but I'm telling you, have communication with the main people of the company, because if something goes down, you want to be able to talk to them about this and resolve it with, somebody that knows you and can deal with it. That's the only person I deal with when it comes to that stuff. So I think I covered it all on this. There's going to be a test at the end, so you guys ready? Okay. Let me know. Oh, final story. And this is supposed to revolutionize everything. People are broke right now. Jamie Dimon says get ready. But let's walk up in the private dock. Dick's Sporting Goods, which I always thought when my kid was in sports, I hated that. Hey, we've got a partnership with Dick's. If you buy from them, we get an extra 15% off your purchases towards the league and towards the team, which sucked, guys, because they were so overpriced. You'd buy a glove that would be $60 one place and it'd be $110 at Dick's. Well, Dick's is going to buy Foot Locker. And again, this is what you're going to see more of, and that is to be able to form, what do you have that's going to benefit us? We talked about a home builder, 2 home builders that have offices here in Newport Beach that merged this week, and their marketing is different. What they have, Foot Locker, believe it or not, has an international presence, and they're going to bring Dick's globally. So it's going to have the Dick's name to it, and Foot Locker is going to become Dick's. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Again, check your spam filter for the email. Let me know what you want to see. hello@iallegedly.com. And onward and upward, guys. There's so much going on right now in the economy. Don't believe all the shenanigans. Teslas are self-driving back to the dealership. You know, Elon regrets it. I had a woman walk up to me at a restaurant last night, and she's like, yeah, I bet your boy really feels bad about what he did. And I'm like, my boy, who are you talking about? Elon. And I said, that billionaire doesn't have to worry about me, lady. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know why he's my boy. Yeah, he just made such a huge mistake doing what he did, helping out with Doge. Okay, guys. I mean, think about it, guys. If I could help you save money like that, I would do that in a second. Let me know your thoughts on all this stuff, and I'll see you very soon.